Hello and welcome to FinTech Focus TV, here live from Quant Strats, London. I'm Lucia and today I'm here with Federico Fontana, and he's on the pod from XAI Asset Management. So I was thinking that we could maybe start off with maybe telling us a bit more about your background and kind of what you're focused on as CTO at XAI.
First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. I've joined XAI from day one, initially contributing the research and development to the systematic strategy. And since then, my role has evolved in overseeing the data and trading infrastructure. And so a lot of my time is spent on improving the robustness of the trading infrastructure, adding new data under our coverage, and continuing the ongoing R&D efforts.
Nice. For some of the viewers who might not know, that you were obviously speaking on a panel today, very much centered around AI and how that is is it becoming an extension or is it a disruption, basically, to the quant research methods? You know, as a CTO, how are you and the team thinking about AI day to day? Like, how is it kind of impacting?
Well, the general view is that AI and machine learning techniques are a useful tool, and we are quite agnostic with respect to which tool should be used for what problem. And so I guess we have found value add in using machine learning techniques in different aspects of the firm, more perhaps on processing the input data of the models as opposed to portfolio construction or risk management functions.
Perfect. No, that sounds great. And that kind of topic of, you know, is it becoming the natural evolution or is it the disruption? Where do you personally fall on that spectrum?
I'm very much inclined to say that AI and machine learning techniques have provided incremental benefits. I think for some users who see new products coming up out of the blue, they might have the perception that it's a 0 to 1 moment or something new, something different has happened. But for quant researchers, I think that they are on the forefront of research. They see a continuous evolution and improvements of the best practices and models. And so I very much think that it's an ongoing research and development effort as opposed to a jump process.
Absolutely. I think, you know, we kind of talk about the hype of AI and actually how much is it actually attributing to potentially, you know, I guess like alpha generation and, you know, extraction. But the key thing you said there, one of the key things, is it benefiting the portfolio construction, and you don't think it's there yet?
I think it can be there yet. Our firm, we have run some projects internally. So for example, on using reinforcement learning as a tool to make the problem of portfolio construction and the more general problem of mapping data to a portfolio a bit more end-to-end. And we had some positive results.
And when we talk about AI, I guess, improving, you know, the alpha extraction, in reality, what kind of advancements or techniques do you think are actually making a difference right now?
I think different problems will need different solutions. So I could name a list of solutions, but this probably will not be appropriate for many. So I think in general, a quant researcher would be making a disservice to himself or herself if they were using AI techniques just for the sake of it. And so I think this would result in higher negative research rates, so where more projects are thrown to the bin. So I think starting from the question, ensuring that the original question and the problem that one is trying to solve is a genuine problem, and then step by step selecting the best tools and trying different tools to get the best possible solution.
Yeah, brilliant. And some of the improvements that we've maybe seen in, I guess, recent years, I guess taking AI out of the subject for a second, do you think, you know, maybe these improvements are coming from the likes of actually having better data, smarter models, and just, you know, having these new approaches basically, to tackling the problems?
I think the fact that some very positive development, which I think happened over the past few years, is that unstructured data has becoming a bit more structured. There are more data providers have been trying quite hard to consolidate data across different sources, making it a bit easier for users of the data and quant researchers to assess the value add, to speed up the R&D cycle, and ultimately this will result in making a better use of what's available.
One of the last questions, but like from your personal view, like what do you think will separate, or what does separate that incremental improvement in modeling from something that truly is disruptive?
I cannot think of many examples where a technology has disrupted from one day to the next. I think it's a continual process, and even with LLMs, we are seeing ourselves that they're still in the news after a few years after coming out, and people are still trying to be very creative on how to use them at their best. So I really think it's a continuous process of adoption of new technologies, as opposed to a 0 to 1 moment for AI.
And I totally agree, and I think some of the conversations that we've had here today, a lot of people are coming from that same perspective, that it is, it's building blocks, right? It's not going to be built in a day, but these small, like, incremental movements, like in the right direction, is ultimately, gonna lead us down the right path. I guess I just wanted to kind of finish off, Federico, with a few key themes that that anyone watching this today, like what you would like them to take away from this podcast, like 3 key themes.
3 key themes. I would encourage people to be good observers of what open source is offering. And I'm saying that because I think that in at least a few instances, people are perhaps reinventing a bit the wheel or trying things from scratch when someone else in the world has already approached the same or a similar problem and open source their intellectual property. So that's something that I deeply care about. I deeply value academic research, and this is not going to be disrupted by AI. And finally, I would encourage people always to try to make use of these latest technologies, always starting from the perspective of which people will ultimately benefit from the outcome of the product that is being developed. So I guess a user-centric perspective or an investment-centric perspective as a starting point, as opposed to technology standpoint. In finance, we use technology still as a tool rather than as an end. So I would encourage people not to deviate from that. From that.
Perfect. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.